Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today's SUPX just filed a 6K report and I am seeing a big announcement about their first half-year results amid a massive AI infrastructure project. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company announced significant financial results alongside a huge AI endeavor in Kazakhstan, and the numbers paint an interesting picture of their current journey. So, SUPX AI Technology Limited dropped its financial update for the first half of its 2026 fiscal year. This comes out on the 22nd of June 2026, and it follows recent news about a massive 1 gigawatt AI park they are building in Kazakhstan. It seems like they are really investing heavily in computing power and infrastructure for artificial intelligence. The filing itself is what is called a Form 6K, which is essentially a report of foreign private issuers. It's like a company from outside the US telling the SEC what's happening on a regular basis. SUPX AI is based in Singapore, and they're reporting their activities for the month of June 2026. One interesting detail here is that they check the box indicating they file annual reports under Form 20F. This is generally for companies that are incorporated outside of the US and are publicly traded on a US exchange. It confirms their international status and reporting requirements here. Now, let's get to the meat of it, the financial results. While this 6K filing doesn't contain the full detailed financial statements within the document itself, it announces them. The actual detailed financials would likely be in an exhibit and based on the exhibit index. Exhibit 99.1 is the announcement of their financial results for the first half of the fiscal year 2026. We also see other exhibits here related to Inline XBRL, which is a standardized way of reporting financial data so investors and systems can easily read it. Looking at the recent news, we see a report from Stock Titan on the 22nd of June, the same day as this filing, which states that SUPX AI took a $76 million loss but managed to boost its cash to $188 million during their AI pivot. This is a really significant detail. A loss means they spent more money than they earned during that period. But the fact that they increased their cash pile suggests they either raised more money through financing or managed their existing cash very smartly, perhaps by selling assets or from previous funding rounds. There is also a separate report from MarketScreener.com on the same day specifically mentioning their earnings for the half year ended the 31st of December 2025. This gives us the period those numbers cover. So the $76 million loss and the $188 million cash figure are likely referring to this period. This is happening as they are investing heavily in this AI pivot. The Kazakhstan AI park announcement is also extremely relevant. Building a 1 gigawatt AI park is a massive undertaking. It requires huge amounts of capital, energy, and infrastructure. This large-scale project is clearly a major driver of their strategy and likely a significant factor in their financial performance, potentially contributing to that loss but also aiming for future revenue and growth. Kazakhstan wanting more computing power suggests a strategic partnership and a market for their services. Looking back a bit, we see a news headline from January 2026 where SUPX AI's market cap surged by $205 million in 1 week. This shows investor excitement has been building. However, the filing today and the news about a $76 million loss could put a damper on that excitement if not managed carefully. It highlights the volatility and high stakes in this area. It's also worth noting the major institutional holders. Companies like Yongrong HK Asset Management Limited and Anatole Investment Management Limited hold significant stakes. When a company undertakes large, capital-intensive projects like an AI park and reports losses, the reaction of these major investors is key. Their confidence or lack thereof can heavily influence the stock price and the company's ability to secure future funding. Based on this filing and the accompanying news, SUPX AI is clearly in a high-growth, high-risk phase. They are making a big bet on the AI infrastructure market, particularly with that massive project in Kazakhstan. The $76 million loss is concerning, but the fact that they still have $188 million in cash is a positive sign, indicating they have the financial runway to continue their strategy for now. The challenge for them will be to manage these large investments effectively, turn these projects into profitable ventures, and demonstrate a clear path back to profitability. The risk I am watching is whether they can execute such a massive infrastructure project on time and within budget, and more importantly, whether the demand for their AI computing power will materialize as expected to cover their significant operational costs and debt. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this analysis helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Join our Discord community via the link in the description.